His friends call him KK, so that's what we're going to call him. We're going to be your friend. Okay, come share.
Thank you. As Coral mentioned, KK, you can just call me KK, and then you can make one of the two K's silent in the name, which is KKrish Energy. So first, I want to go with who, what, why. Let me start with that. Who are part of the Krish team? So basically, all three of us over here. That's me. I have close to 2 decades of experience in different fields, including hospitality, education, manufacturing, and clean tech. I am a proud volunteer for the Space Foundation and Cool Science as well. So that's me. Professor Lynn George, she's right there over here. She's retired from the Air Force, so she only works 100 hours a week right now. Lovely retired life. Bob, and Linan is the outreach director for Krish. And then Bob Armstrong, he's arguably the best the technical mind that I'm aware of. Anything related to science, mathematics, technology, I haven't found a subject that he wouldn't have a good insight on. So that's Bob, and he's a chief science evangelist for my company, and you would see why I gave him that title. So that's who we are. What are we trying to do over here? So we want to create a platform, an automated platform, that actually promotes objective green metrics. There's a lot of greenwashing, there's a lot of hijacking of environmental concerns. So I want to create a scale that's a standardized metric for what is sustainable and what isn't. We want to promote sustainable lifestyles, and this is not about making big drastic changes. It's just about empowering you with knowledge, so you can make small changes that may have big impact when we do that collectively as a community. Last but not the least, and I will go into this a little bit towards the end. Part of the reason I got into this startup is our education system, I believe, has gone off the rails in terms of how it's teaching sustainability. It's extremely politicized, no matter which side of the political spectrum you're in. We need to find a way to depoliticize our education system, and that's part of another objective of what we intend to do with KKrish Energy. So again, why? So that's what, and then why? Because I've got into this a little bit before. There is no standardized metric to compare what's green and what's not. There's a lot of greenwashing in there. There's no clear signaling for consumers to make a choice with their wallets based on the green signals they can receive for products and services from their companies, right? I would think almost everyone in this room, if the quality is similar, you would pick a greener option in any product or any service that you choose. But what is green? That seems to have been, there's a lot of marketing and politics behind that. So I'm trying to take that away and get more analytical and objective about this. And now those were, I would say these are sort of symptoms. Now here's the flaw. The disease is actually, we have this, our environmental protection has become obsessed, carbon-obsessed carbon. And why am I saying this? I'm not saying this that I don't care about the environment. I'm a sustainability scholar from Michigan Tech University. I understand the difference between saying I am for environmental protection first. Climate risk mitigation is a serious thing that I'd like to address as well. People don't understand the difference, right? And so I go into the details of how do you address environmental protection objectively. Now, I have this picture over here because this is the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio, and he recently came up with a comment that we have passed global warming and now we are at global boiling stage or something like that. The argument there cannot be of, okay, one is if the weather is changing or the climate is changing, what are the levers for it? All the research that I've done, carbon is not the climate control norm. That's something that has not been, there is no clear scientific evidence that that's the case. What we have done over the past couple of decades is we have wasted our time instead of investigating what is the scientific reasons. We have stuck to one card saying it's carbon, it's fossil fuels, and that's it. We're going to shut everything else down. And I have this picture because this is a 20-year-old Stanford graduate in some science technology field. She is a UN climate advisor. I have this, and they are the sort of ones, it's more emotional, it's more saying that, oh, there's this catastrophe that's going to happen. We need to end fossil fuels, and that's the driver. There is no scientific discussion on this. So that's the big picture that I do want to highlight. So vision, again, it's to take humanity forward on a sustainable trajectory. And then I want to create an automated platform that actually does sustainability diagnosis, certification, and branding. So what's unique about me? And I just squashed what you would think is caring for the environment and what United Nations says. This is our own KKrish secret, or not, no, I wouldn't say it's secret anymore, I posted it here. This is our protocol for rating sustainability, okay? I used to call it Peacock Pentagon system, now I call it the Peacock Dart system. It's for diagnostic assessment and ratings tool. As you can see, we have 5 dimensions and focuses a lot on our material usage as well. It focuses on our water conservation as well. And then it focuses on employee engagement from a knowledge perspective. Why is this different? Is because 99% of most tools that you would hear saying something is green or not is all connected to a carbon metric. My carbon footprint is so and so, so I am more green or less green. That is just scientifically flawed. And this is what I'm trying to come up with. This is an entirely new protocol that addresses it. So that's my secret recipe. Now, so I have this rating system, this protocol on how to do sustainability assessments. And then my initial target market is the hospitality sector. I love hospitality, although I have master's degrees in mechanical engineering and I've taught at Colorado Technical University. I also served at the Broadmoor. My bartender over there is over here. And I enjoy hospitality. I think the serving clients in a resort or even a brewery. I used to serve at Trinity Brewery over here. It's just something that I enjoy. So I started with hospitality. I did get some kind media coverage from this entity called green.org that called it, saying it's America's first sustainability rating systems for hospitality. So that's my initial target market. And then, so what's going to be my MVP? Now, you're all here for a startup pitch, so you may have heard about the minimum viable product. So what's going to be the MVP? It's going to be a platform where, maybe Lemon Lodge would be one of my early clients. They could just log in, answer a few questions, and then go through a process, and then it gives out an assessment of where they are on the sustainability ratings, and then give a certificate. It doesn't end there. You get easy ways to improve your sustainability footprint as well. So that's part of continuous improvement process on the green ratings and certification. Of course, if you want to go above and beyond, if they say, hey, I don't want to do the easy, I want to be the absolute market leader in sustainability, we have the in-house expertise to not only train and prepare, but get you that brand validation or brand differentiation in customers' view from a sustainability standpoint. So a little bit more into the tech integration. This is not about a lot of manual consulting and all this. I want to include some of the most advanced tech integration that there is. So here's an example. If you look at Google Maps today, and then you just search for restaurants in Denver, these are some of the filters Google will let you. It will let you filter a restaurant by the price. You could look at the hours of operations, the cuisines, etc. Even the ratings that Google gives is based on Google users' ratings, so you can take it for whatever you want. I mean, it could be a bunch of people that just want to do it. So this is not any scientific method, it's just the user rating. So this is the current system. Imagine a future where all the restaurants, if you look for restaurants in Colorado Springs, downtown Colorado Springs, you have a Peacock rating, which is color-coded and also signifies by the size, which tells you how green, what's their green performance right now. And by green, again, it's not just their carbon footprint. It's a more holistic, it's a multi-dimensional sustainability footprint. So this is the envisioned future of how you can integrate that. So whether you order food from Uber Eats, whether you want to pick a restaurant based on your Google map, you actually have a Peacock rating that goes with your the choices that shows up. Now, in terms of competition, there's tons of them in saying, oh, I'm going to do green consulting, I'm going to do green branding, I'm going to do green marketing for you. Again, they're all linked with carbon. They're all just trying to get on the bandwagon and make most money out of it. Fundamentally, what KKrish Energy has developed is something called an integrated accounting tool. That's a sustainability in diverse metrics: materials usage, water conservation, employee engagement. The only other entity, as per my research, that has done good work on integrated accounting tools is this French fashion company called KKrish. So they have this metric. There's just an app. I highly recommend just use it for fun if you want to. So if you, and they do it just for fashion products. So if you buy a handbag and then you enter a bunch of data, the $52 over here, it's an environmental score that it gives for that bag. Now, the 52 to 22, I changed. I want a bag manufactured in Europe versus I want a bag manufactured in China. The environmental footprint went down less than half because it's not just carbon footprint, it's about how you generate the electricity, or how you protect your environment. And let's just say Europe does it a lot better than China, and we do it among the best that there is. But people don't understand that yet. We're all stuck with some sort of one carbon metric. So as I said, the integrated accounting tool that we've developed, I'd love KKrish to succeed as well, but they're the only ones that do something similar. As you could see, they look at air pollution, land usage, waste, water consumption. Those are the key factors that they look at, and they provide one final score for it. But the thing is, and this is where I have an advantage, I believe, is they're limited to fashion space. They're only limited, they only do these ratings for fashion products, whereas I intend to start in hospitality, and we can go to sustainable ratings for any product or any service that there is. So I do have a clickable demo that I developed thanks to these amazing ladies from Ukraine that I worked with earlier this year. I was a little stubborn about this. I said if I do my startup, I want to limit the software development to either inside America or to a NATO country only, just because I think I understand some of the privacy issues and all that come with it. The only exception, like one of the exceptions I made is I worked with this team in Ukraine. So if anybody wants to see like how would the platform, like if you want to have a session on how the platform would look like, would feel like, how you would go through some of the steps and what sort of scoring it comes in, I do have a clickable demo that is ready to go. Be happy to show that to you. Now, I'm here to get feedback from Colorado Springs community. I've lived here for about a decade. I live in Golden right now, but this is still very close to my heart. A lot of dear friends over here, a few of them are here. I made an investment ask to a California-based, a Bay Area-based investment group, and I put together this, and I said, okay, give me 150K, and then I made some financial projections. I said within 5 years we'll get 8 million of revenue, not actually profit, but 8 million of revenue. So that's how I was very conservative in there. Some of the feedback I actually got, not explicitly but implicit, was you want to take high risk, you want to challenge the whole system on green ratings. Investor wants, they don't mind taking risks, but they want bigger rewards. So 5 years, give me something that shows 100 million in revenue instead of just 8 million in revenue. Sort of the feedback that I have. So what I did is we went back to the drawing board a little bit. I don't want the following slide to take away from my original concept of rating hospitality assets first, but then we can address the same principles that I developed for doing sustainability audits, which was a result of disagreeing with how the education system is right now, can be applied to promote, to advance science education by accepting diversity of views. That's what my ASDOG K-12 education program stands for. We've done some research. I've had some interaction with headmasters of high schools in Colorado, and they said we haven't had any of the programs like this, and they'd love to have it. Right now, I do not have the bandwidth to develop a K-12 or even a couple of courses on there, but if I have investors who want to take the risk, and the education market globally is $8 trillion. So I'm not saying I'm going to get a big chunk of it. Even a tiny, tiny chunk is a very big deal. And one of the key takeaways is that with the increased internet access and with the incoming AI disruptions, EdTech is it's a market ripe for disruption. So that's where I'm positioning my startup for as well. We want to give a shout out to Cool Science. The president of board of directors, Ron, he was there in one of my presentations at UCCS, and yeah, he had a kind written letter that said the company's vision was It's truly innovative. That's what he wrote Reddit for. So just wanted to say thanks and take some questions. Yes.
You mentioned companies input their own information.